an absolute monster of a lightweight.
What a moment! A history-making goal!
She wasn't going for goal, but she'll happily accept it.
It's gone all the way through, and look at this! Chewinga! Did you dare write Barcelona off?
The career of one of the all-time greats is all but over.
Nice comeback.
Uma oportunidade de dizer alguma coisa que eu acho que nunca disse.
Let's get this party started!
NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl. It's your all-access pass.
That's how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Katie Taylor does it again. Look at the emotion.
Fight week continues here live from Tampa, Florida, as we count down the days to Saturday night showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Perry. The official press conference starts now.
Live only on DAZN, July 20. Jake Paul versus Mike Perry.
Fear no man. I'm ready anytime, any place, anyone. People think I'm crazy.
Mike Perry ends people.
A violent, bare-knuckle, undefeated legend.
He is a savage. He is an absolute killer.
I'm gonna hurt you bad. I'm bringing the pain. You will be terrified.
Jake Paul versus Mike Perry, July 20. Live only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
We welcome you inside the Amil Arena here in Tampa, Florida, as Jake Paul and Mike Perry get set to square off verbally here in just a few minutes. And if it's anything like yesterday's open workout, we are going to be in for a show. Hi, I'm Todd Grisham. This, of course, is the great Gabe Rosado and the not-so-great Wade Plem here as well. Hey, you were a great trash talker during your fighting days. This is kind of the fight before the fight, the verbal jabs. What do you expect today?
Look, man, these guys are very similar, man. It's funny. It's like watching brothers beefing. You know, I think it's going to be a great fight. Mike, he's the real deal, man. This is dangerous. This is a 50-50 fight for Jake. So it's a dangerous matchup.
I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Absolutely, man. You know, Mike, he's going to be in Jake's face and his grill. I think Jake is going to try to box, but Mike, he's going to be there, and he doesn't care to get hit. So it's dangerous.
You did a face-to-face between Jake Paul and Mike Perry, and Mike said, hey, Jake is getting under my skin, but I need that.
Yeah, Mike is a guy that operates on emotion, drive, physicality. He's the king of violence for a reason. Yesterday you saw that. We saw that. He took over our interview, and it felt like I was ready to fight, the way he was just giving that energy out. I think he's going to do the same today. Something to watch, though. He had that chain on yesterday with Jake's face on it, getting punched in. Jake said, if I see that dude wearing it again, I'm snatching it off him. So I expect today to get heated.
All right, well, they're going to be heated for sure, but what other fighter are you most excited to hear from today on the dais?
I mean, it makes sense that we get Stevie Morgan here on stage. She's been talking that talk in the co-main event to the real deal Amanda Serrano. I know that you know a lot about Amanda. I know that she don't do a lot of talking when it comes to the verbal, more with these, but Stevie's been trying to poke the bear a little bit. It might not be a good idea, though.
I think it's a mistake because I think you're giving Amanda a reason to really step it up, and Amanda's the real deal. And one thing that Stevie said in the fighters meeting, she said that she thinks that Amanda is the weakest link out of the women in the top, which I disagree with.
Crazy.
I could disagree with big time.
Yeah.
So
the actual phrase, she called her low-hanging fruit, I believe.
it's
Let's
crazy.
see if she still brings that same energy here today. Now let's go to the host of today's press conference, Mr. Ariel Helwani.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hello and welcome to the beautiful Amalie Arena here in Tampa, Florida. It is so great to be here. I am Ariel Helwani. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Very, very excited about Saturday's mega event, July 20th, Amalie Arena. Back here, we were here about 2 years ago, back again for another MVP mega event. This time, it is Jake Paul versus Mike Perry and Amanda Serrano versus Stevie Morgan. It is presented by Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian. It is produced by MVP and promoted by Box Lab Promotions. This is going to be an amazing night. Limited tickets still available. You could get them right now on Ticketmaster.com for as cheap as $20, or it will be shown worldwide on DAZN pay-per-view. You could get that pay-per-view over on DAZN.com. So yes, he is back. The problem child is back. Jake Paul is back. He is 4-0 against MMA fighters, but the one that he is facing on Saturday is a little different. This man is not only a former UFC fighter, but he has become the face of bare knuckle fighting. He is the king of violence. He is the Platinum One Mike Perry. And so it's going to be Jake Paul versus Mike Perry. Of course, on July 20th, we thought we were getting Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. That is still happening, but it's now happening on November 15th. And so Jake said he wanted to remain on this date, calls upon Mike Perry, and now Mike Perry has an opportunity to ruin all of those plans, screw everything up, spoil the party, beat this man, Jake Paul, and perhaps put that whole fight in November in doubt. Also, we were supposed to get on this same date Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano, too, of course, because the Paul Tyson fight got postponed. That fight got postponed, but Serrano herself said she wanted to remain on this card, and so she is remaining on this date, and she is fighting a local hero in Stevie Morgan. And so it's going to be a great night. There's an amazing main card which continues. It kicks off, at 9 p.m. Eastern. The prelims are at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can get the prelims on all the social media channels, on YouTube as well. And then the main card is at 9 p.m. Eastern over on DAZN pay-per-view. You're going to get 5 amazing fights, and it's a little something for everyone. The fun stuff, the traditional stuff, some great women's fighters as well. Like I said, something for everyone, and it all kicks off at 9 p.m. Eastern from right here at the Amalie Arena, which we were in back in 2022, December to be exact. Jake Paul knocked out Tyron Woodley, one of the knockouts of the year. Let's see if he's able to recreate that magic on Saturday night. All right, enough talking from me. Let us say hello to the fighters. That's who you really want to see. Can we hear some noise for the fighters? Get some excitement here. Yes, I love it. Thank you so very much, my friends. All right, let's kick things off. First things first, a man, if you're an MMA fan, a UFC fan, you know this man. He had 18 wins in the world of MMA and actually won his pro boxing debut a little less than 2 years ago against the former NFL running back Le'Veon Bell. He is the one and only Uriah Hall. Let's say hello to Uriah Hall, everyone. Uriah Hall representing New York, his opponent, and Jamaica, I should say. His opponent is representing Mexico. He's one of the greatest fighters to come out of Mexico, and he is the son of the greatest fighter to come out of Mexico. He's a former WBC champion. He hasn't fought in 3 years, but a litany of great fights and great wins on his resume. He's coming back on Saturday to fight that man, Uriah Hall. He is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Say hello to JCC Jr., everyone. All right, we move things along now, and this is a bit of a local turf war, if you will. These two fighters actually fought back in February of this year on a most valuable prospects card. They fought to a split draw. It was one of the best fights of the first half of 2024. They're going to run it back, but on this massive stage. First, let us say hello to the pride of Orlando, Florida, Corey Too Smooth Marksman. 9-0-1, 7 knockouts for the Orlando product, 23 years young, Corey Marksman. His opponent represents Crescent City, Florida. He too is an undefeated prospect, and he too had that great fight against Corey and is looking to run that one back and now right the wrong of that split draw, if you get what I'm saying. He is, like I said, 12-0-1 with 4 knockouts. He is Crescent City's own Tony Aguilar. Tony Aguilar, everyone. Also proudly representing his Mexican heritage, Tony Aguilar is here looking to get a big win over Marksman. Also, he is promoted by the legendary Christy Martin. Tony Aguilar, everyone. All right, we move things along now, and very excited to say hello to this next fighter because we share the same home country. Let us say hello to a 3-time Canadian national champion as an amateur. He has been itching for a big fight, a big stage, a big moment, and he got one on Saturday night. Everyone say hello to top-ranked IBF and WBA lightweight prospect Lucas Prince Body. 16-0 with 14 knockouts, Lucas Prince Body. His opponent, if you've been watching these MVP cards, you know a thing or two about him. He is 11-0. He has 9 knockouts, and he's one of the biggest prospects in the sport right now. Still just 20 years young, but he's now a veteran of these big fight cards. Back in 2022, ESPN called him the Prospect of the Year. He's the one and only, the pride of Long Beach, California, H2O Silv. Say hello to H2O Silv, everyone. Signed to MVP back in 2022. Loves a great walkout. Very curious to see what he has in store for us come Saturday night. There he is, H2O Silv, everyone. All right, we move things along and we move towards the co-main event now. Like I said, Amanda Serrano, big fight for her in November, but she wanted to remain on this date. Enter her opponent. Enter the pride of Tampa. Enter a young woman who is 14-1 with 13 knockouts on her resume. She brings the fight to every opponent she faces in the ring. She is, like I said, a resident of Tampa. She's Tampa's own Stevie Sledgehammer Morgan. Say hello to Stevie Morgan, everyone. A little bit of back and forth going into this one between Stevie and Amanda. Great stuff. Looking forward to seeing if Stevie can spoil the plans of her opponent. Her opponent is one of the greatest female fighters of all time. She's one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the world. In my opinion, regardless of gender, 7-division world champion, the most decorated champion to ever come out of the great island of Puerto Rico. She's the unified featherweight champion. She represents both Carolina, Puerto Rico, and New York. She is the one and only, the real deal, Amanda Serrano. Make some noise for Amanda Serrano, everyone. Amanda Serrano, by the way, competing in her 50th pro boxing bout on Saturday. Historic stuff, incredible stuff once again from Amanda Serrano. Can't wait for that fight and cannot wait for this main event. It's the fight that a lot of people were saying, can't we get this one? This is the one that we want. We want to see if he could beat this guy. Well, we're going to find out on Saturday how this is all going to play out. First, let's say hello to the king of violence, the Platinum One, who's evolving and maturing in front of our eyes. He's now a husband, a father, but make no mistake about it, he's one of the toughest SOBs on the planet. Had a great run in the UFC, transferred over to bare knuckle fighting, and he has beaten every big name that has come his way. Michael Venom Page, Eddie Alvarez, Luke Rockhold, Thiago Alves. He has beaten them all, and he has bloodied them all. Now he enters the pro boxing route. He steps up to fight Jake Paul, and he tries to be the first MMA fighter to beat Jake Paul. He's the one and only, a resident of Florida, Platinum Mike Perry, everyone. Make some noise for Platinum Mike Perry. the one and only, the often imitated, the never duplicated, one of one. Is he rocking the chain? He is. My man, Mike, good to see you. And the Versace hat, too. He's been putting on a show all week, and I can't wait to see how things unfold here today. Finally, last but not least, let us say hello to the face of MVP. Let us say hello to the man who, like I said, 4-0 against those MMA fighters. 2 great knockouts, first-round knockouts in his last 2 fights. Supposed to fight Mike Tyson on July 20th. That fight not happening until November, and so he could have sat back and just waited. He said, nah, let me fight this guy, this crazy SOB, this guy that everyone says he wouldn't fight. Let's say hello, everyone, to El Gallo de Dorado. Let's say hello to the problem child, the one and only, the disruptor, Jake Paul. 9-1, 6 knockouts. The co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions, Jake Paul, in the house. Great to see him. Making us all smell so very good, and he's got his mascots here with him. I'm glad to see that they're okay after yesterday's incident. I was a little bit worried about that, but glad to see that everyone is feeling good, safe and sound. All right, let's get into things, guys, and let us start with you, Jake. Interesting scene yesterday. Mike beat up your mascot. Did he make things personal when he did that?
Nah, it is what it is. You know, he's going to have to pay for that on Saturday night. And at the end of the day, it's great promo for W at Walmart. Get it today. That's all it is. So thank you, Mike, honestly, for the promo. But on Saturday, he is going to have to pay for that. He took out an employee, little body shop. But, hey, Saturday night is where all the answers and the truth comes out.
You're going to have to pay for that, sir.
Mike, like I said, and it's great to see you, 4-0 he is against the MMA fighters. Do you feel like you are representing MMA here? Do you have to right the wrong here? Do you have to get the win for not only yourself, but the community, the sport? Finally beat this man so that he can stop fighting these MMA fighters and beating them.
I'm doing it for everybody, for me, for the fans, for BKFC, for MMA, just mainly for me, because I believe in myself and my boxing ability. I'm a brawling boxing mug, so I'm ready to get in the ring with Jake and have some fun. And it's SOG. Don't talk about my mom like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I thought that was Andre Ward.
No, you said I'm an SOB.
Well, I just meant tough. I didn't mean.
Son of a gun is more preferable.
I apologize.
Thank you, sir. No, it's okay.
Mrs. Perry, I apologize. Is she here? Because I'll personally apologize.
She'll be here tomorrow night.
I'll do that.
Or Saturday night, sorry.
My apologies to her. Speaking of BKFC, earlier today, Jake, in beautiful Marbella, Spain, there was a press conference, and this fight came up. I don't know if you saw the clip, but Conor McGregor, who's a owner now of BKFC, was hyping up Mike, called you Michael Perry, said you're doing great things, and he's rooting for you, and he said that Mike is fighting a little dweeb on Saturday. I'm wondering if you saw that clip and if you have a response to what Conor had to say.
Well, first of all, he's big upping the BKFC, but you're going to see what I'm going to do to their best fighter on Saturday night. I'm going to embarrass their whole entire league. This guy has no skill. Those are just brawler, idiot, street fighter dudes who have no idea what the sweet science is. And Conor McGregor can say what he wants, but he won't fight me either. So once I knock out Mike Perry, Conor McGregor, let's run it. But you won't do it because you know what's going to happen. You saw what I did to Nate Diaz, who you went toe-to-toe with. So Conor McGregor, lay off the cocaine, get in the gym, and start winning fights, and then maybe we could have a conversation.
Don't clap for him. He's a disrespectful punk. Those men and women fight for their families over there. They put it all on the line, and they get in that ring, and they put on shows for the fans. Conor said my name was self-proclaimed, but they gave me the title of King of Violence, and my tequila is going to be better than his whiskey when that comes out. That was the drop of my brand that's coming out soon, is the Platinum Tequila, and I was an owner first in that company.
Will you be walking out with the belt, the King of Violence belt, on Saturday?
My team will have my trophy with me, yes.
Okay. Can't wait for that. Great stuff, guys. And by the way, the media will be able to ask all the fighters questions as well. But I want to give some love to some of the other fighters. And Amanda, we will ask you a question or two. She's been saying a lot about you going into this fight. dare I say, some things a little bit disrespectful. Have you heard some of these comments? And if so, how do you feel about them?
Listen, I don't pay attention to that. That doesn't win fights. That doesn't pay my bills. I go out, I train hard, I fight hard, and you'll see Saturday night.
Stevie, massive opportunity for you. And I believe you have said, I'm paraphrasing here, but she's one of the weaker fighters at the top of the pound-for-pound ranks. Could you expand on those comments? Are these just fighting words, or is this what you truly believe?
Oh, yeah, I'm not being disrespectful at all. I'm just stating facts. If I had to pick any of the fighters at the top, Amanda Serrano is the one I would choose, mainly because she's going to make me look good. Her fighting style is going to bring out the best in me. And again, no disrespect, but she's on her way out. She could have retired 2 years ago and been remembered forever.
Do you think she's looking past you because she has this big Katie Taylor fight coming up in November?
Who she is, I don't think she looks past any opponent, but she shouldn't be for sure.
One thing for sure, I am a professional, been in this game for 15 years. This is my 5th year fight, and I never overlooked any opponent.
All right. Great stuff there. Looking forward to that fight. That's going to be the co-main event on Saturday. H2O Silv, like I said, still just 20 years young, my man, but you are a veteran to these big fights. You've been here before. Some might say that your opponent on Saturday is your toughest test today. A little bit older, a little bit more experienced. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that assessment. And he's definitely undefeated. We all see that. He has a good resume, fought a few good fighters. So this would be one of my biggest challenges. And I'm excited to put my skill set to the test.
A question for my Canadian brother, Lucas. This is a big opportunity, and I've seen some interviews with you where you've been saying, like, you want the big fight, you want the big stage. Well, you're getting it on Saturday. When you got the call about this opportunity, what went through your mind?
I knew it was the time, and yeah, like you said, I've been waiting for an opportunity like this, a big opportunity, a big stage. You know, thank you to MVP for the opportunity. This is obviously my toughest fight, his toughest fight. We got 2 undefeated fighters. It's going to be a great fight.
You impressed with him?
Yeah, he's a great athlete, great fighter.
Do you know a lot about Lucas H2O and what you've seen from him? What's your assessment of him?
To be honest, I don't know a lot. I usually leave that to my team to do the homework. I just go in there and execute. But from what I saw, he's very fundamentally sound. He has a good right hand. I think that's his best attribute on his side of the field. But me fighting against fighters growing up, I definitely could see a lot of openings in there.
Okay, can't wait for that fight. I think it's going to be incredible. Now, also can't wait for this rematch. Corey, your first fight was a great one back in February of this year. And I'm just wondering, split draw, no one wants that. You don't want that. You are both still unbeaten as a result. I'm just wondering, what are some of the lessons that you learned from that first fight that you are going to look to apply in this fight on Saturday in the rematch?
I'd say don't take anything for granted. You know, you might think that you're in the lead, or you might think that you're winning the fight, but at the end of the day, the judges is the one that decides that. So you got to really go out there and take what's yours.
Tony, same question for you, because it's such a great fight on paper, and the first one obviously was very fun, and there's a bit of expectations to live up to now because it was so action-packed. What lessons did you learn from that first fight back in February?
From the first fight, I just learned that I need to run more. You know what I mean? If my condition would have been a little bit up, it wouldn't have been even close enough for them to even try to call it a draw. You know what I mean? But Saturday we will right that wrong, like they said. You know, because it was the wrong decision. But we will make sure they know on Saturday.
You think you deserve to win on the night back in February?
Most definitely.
Did you think you deserved to win back in February?
Oh, absolutely, and everybody who saw that fight know what it is too.
Okay, I like it. Crescent City. Going up against Orlando. This is great. And finally, Uriah, good to see you again. It has been a while. We last saw you back in 2022 after that win over Le'Veon Bell. How did this opportunity come about for you? Because we obviously initially heard that Julio was going to fight Darren Till on that July 20th card. Darren unavailable, and you appeared. So how did this opportunity come about?
Simple. You know, my coach just called me about it, and I said, let me think about it, and I just jumped on it.
How come you have not fought since that fight against Le'Veon in October of 2022?
Just hanging out, being a civilian, you know, just doing normal stuff. But as an athlete, as a warrior, you know, you still have those tendencies. And from time to time I get a little bored. I'm like, you know what, I think I want to do this again. So when this came up, I got excited.
And what an opportunity against a legend, Julio Cesar Chavez, who we have not seen since 2021. I'm just wondering, Julio, what are your motivations now at this stage of your life and career? Like I said, a bit of a hiatus. Why are you coming back against Uriah Hall?
Oh man, I'm very excited and I'm ready. You know, to be back in boxing is great for me again. So I'm ready to fight. I'm in shape. So I have a big opponent in front of me. So I'm ready to put a performance this Saturday.
Is this the beginning of a comeback for you or a one-off?
Yes, it's the beginning of the comeback.
Okay. And Uriah, just curious, man, you know Anderson Silva, who you beat a few years back, beat Julio. I'm wondering if you watched that fight and if you took anything away from that fight.
No, I haven't watched that fight.
You haven't?
No.
It was a great fight.
That's cool.
Any particular reason why you wouldn't watch it?
I don't know. I just didn't watch it.
Your team watched it.
I guess so. Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't really watch too much.
Have you rewatched that fight, Julio?
Oh my God, I never watched again.
Okay, wow. No one's watched it. All right. No one watched that fight. I lied. It sucked.
I watched it.
Who watched it? You watched it.
I watched
it. was a good fight, right?
Well, I watched it to study Anderson.
That's right.
So Uriah, you should be watching.
Yeah. What's with all this non-watching stuff? HBO should be watching Lucas
I don't
too.
know, bro. I'll be watching everything.
Do you watch Mike's footage?
Yeah, Mike Perry. Yeah.
But is there anything you can gain from watching that? Because he's fighting in bare knuckle and not, Queensberry rules.
He had a boxing match in a triangle that I gained a lot of knowledge from. A lot of openings. It's going to be a short night, Ariel.
What did you learn from that?
He's just open for anything I want to throw at him.
That fight was like 3 years ago or so. I feel like you've improved a lot. You've evolved a lot since then. Is that fair?
Yes, thank you. I've been winning since then. That's all I know. I've been victorious. I've been succeeding consistently, and I've been getting better every single day. Put this little twerp in his place. He's new to this game. Welcome. You just got here.
What's your boxing record?
No, I appreciate the work you've done, but what's my professional fighting record? I've got 30 professional fights.
You're 0-1 as a boxer, and you're telling me
That's
welcome
cool.
to this sport.
And I'm going to beat you. Isn't that crazy?
It's going to be a rough welcoming.
I'm 0-1.
It's going to be a rough
But how many pro boxers
welcoming.
you fought, Jake? Those two guys?
First round.
That other guy,
I knocked
who the
out
hell
2
was that
pro
guy?
boxers in the
and
first
then
round.
That other guy, that
this
last
year.
fat guy you
Dumbass.
fought. I'm glad you got your shirt open so everybody can see your fat ass belly. Because
I'm
you're
my
not as
fat,
fat as the
happy
last
self.
guy you knocked out. And you barely knocked him out. The ref stepped in because the guy didn't even know how to defend or punch back. He didn't even throw anything back at you. Don't worry, you're going to get what you've been asking for. The fight to go longer than 1 round. I'm going to give you hell in the first and the second round. Just wait and watch.
2 rounds.
And you're going to get tired. You're going to be grasping for air. I made a new word, grasping. You're going to be grasping for air. But I'm going to be breathing in your ear, Jake, making them noises from the Diddy party.
Oh, my. Could I ask, Jake, how much do you expect to weigh on Saturday?
I'll be like 215.
Okay, this is a 200-pound fight, but I'm just wondering, after you rehydrate, 215. What about you, Mike? Because it's been a talking point going into this fight that he may be a little bit bigger than you.
Well, I get heavier in the night, so I'll be like 198. Depending on how I eat that day, I might weigh in between 194 and 196. That's my weight.
Okay.
I'll be fast as lightning. I'm gonna strike you too.
And you think on Saturday you'll be under 200?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. You think that's your advantage?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Skills is what pay the bills. And he has no footwork, no head movement, no defense. He's a great offensive fighter in bare knuckle. But in terms of boxing, he's going to get picked apart very quickly, and it's going to be a short night. Like I said, my predictions are never wrong. So I stand on business every single time. I manifest it into reality. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out Mike Perry in less than 2 rounds. It's going to happen. Put the money on it.
Tougher test, Mike Tyson or Mike Perry?
I mean, both are killers. Both are killers, and both are super, super dangerous. But that's why I wanted to stay active, keep this fight card alive, stay getting experience under the bright lights on my path to world championship. And that's what matters, is getting the experience under the bright lights. And this is a Mike appetizer, Mike warm-up. But they're both killers at the end of the day, and I do have to be sharp. He does have one-punch knockout power that I do have to respect. But other than that, it's going to be easy.
You got beat by Love Island boy. Love Island boy beat you up. He ain't no killer, and he beat you up.
I thought he was going to say, what do you think of the outfit, his outfit?
Looks good. He got money.
That's
he know
why
how to dress and take care of himself. That's good, but I get down and gritty. I'm a dirty motherfucker. Point blank, period. I'm going to get nasty in there.
Bro,
I'm
you went to
nibble on
private
your ear,
school.
Jake.
You went to private school. What are you saying, bro? You act like you're
Keep
from
lying.
the hood.
You
Please
keep lying
explain
to
that,
yourself.
bro.
You're going to find out the truth in
Please
a couple of
explain
days,
that.
buddy. You're going to bleed, Jake.
What do you want him to explain, Jake?
Why he says he's from the hood, but he went to private school. Everyone's confused.
Everybody knows where I'm from, Jake.
No, we don't.
You
We
would
literally
die.
don't.
You would die if you drank the water I drank growing up playing at recess.
Flint, Michigan?
Yeah,
what do
you
you mean?
would
Why
die.
are you bragging about that?
Hell yeah, that shit made me who I am.
Fucking dumb as shit.
Flint Town and APK, yes you are dumb
It made
as
me
shit.
who I am. I'm grasping for air. It made me who I am. Drink the water.
That's what you're gonna sound like. First body shot.
Let's take some questions from
Hey,
the media.
speaking of which, I actually got you something here.
Uh-oh.
Since you are private school Perry, got you this cap and gown. Try that on, brother. You're not from the hood. You went to private school.
I never got to do this. I'm graduating before I beat your ass on Saturday. I never got to do that. Yeah.
Congrats. You didn't graduate?
Nope. I started boxing at the School of Hard Knocks with Christy Martin. Was my first boxing school in the Mike Tyson Broughton style of boxing.
You should post your report card from when you were a kid, and that could put an end to all this private school talk.
There's lots of D on there for you, Jake.
You know I like that.
We didn't even plan that. I just laid it up. Let's take some questions from the media. If you guys want to just line up here, we've got Mike and Liz with the shirts, MVP shirts, and
This reminds me of UFC Pittsburgh. I was with Uriah in UFC Pittsburgh a long time ago before I beat up Alex Reyes in, 40 seconds. I just reminded of that. It just feels great that I'm going to do it again. It's going to be a big full arena of people ready to boo Jake Paul.
I love the necklace, by the way. Can you show it to the crowd? What is that? That's his face, right? Yes. Where'd you get that?
Yeah, Rocco's Jewelry, New York City. Shot a little foreshadowing for the...
How much does it go for?
Well, with the chain and the pendant, it should be about 40,000.
Wow. And you can only wear that this weekend. You
It
can't
should be
keep wearing it.
about, these are CZ diamonds and that shit fake.
No, they not. Don't play my
Motherfucker
guys.
didn't pay for
Hey,
that
New York
shit.
City got the best jewelry out there. My boy Rocco right there with Tracks
Hey, that shit
NYC.
looks green from over here, bro. Come on.
My shit
Your
nice.
neck turning green, bro. You know
All right,
that's
sir.
fake, right?
If you could just
Come on.
say where you're from.
You can't even deny it. You had the fake Travis Scott's on too. Everything about you's fake. Fake fighter too. You suck at fighting. You suck at dressing. You got a fake chain. You got fake shoes. I'm gonna expose Mike
You got
Perry
a fake
Saturday
career
night.
in boxing, and I'm finna beat your ass.
I am boxing. What the fuck are you talking about? You're dumber
I'm
than
gonna
shit.
take it then.
Nope.
I'm gonna take it from you. This is my chance to show the world what a real fighter can do in boxing. These other guys was long past their prime.
Every
and it's my
single
time.
person before you has said the same thing.
No, they
from
didn't.
The
You
MMA
said it.
community.
You do the same promotion every time you fight. You say the
single
same
time they sit across from me in these exact same seats and say, "I'm gonna take it from you. I'm gonna show a real fighter. You
But
haven't
what are
done
the
this.
differences?
This is me. Welcome to the
I'm
sport."
5-0
Shut the
in bare
fuck
knuckle
up.
boxing.
Literally,
against
shut
former,
the fuck up.
We both beat
Word-
two
your
UFC
words
world
as
champions.
MMA fighters are
We're
fucking
equal,
meaningless.
Jake.
You guys
I'll
are
give
all
you credit.
pussies.
We equal.
Every single MMA
but
fighter
that's
is a
where you
fucking
wrong.
pussy, and you can't box for shit.
You won't give me
And when
any
I try to
credit.
fight y'all in
You
MMA,
trying to
y'all don't
take
do
it.
it. Y'all
I'm
don't
gonna
do it.
box your socks off, bitch.
Pussies.
I'm
You
gonna
and
beat the
McGregor,
fuck out
both
of you.
bitches, will never fight me. Fucking pussies.
Fuck you, bitch. I'm gonna fight you.
By the way, would you want to fight him in MMA? You say
Yes,
they don't do
let's go. Let's run it.
After this, MMA?
Yeah, after I knock him out on Saturday, let's do it. Let's sign the contract for some MMA. I'll choke you out too.
All right. Okay.
All right, sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
I have a question for Mike Perry. On Jake Paul's renowned podcast, BS with Jake Paul.
You didn't introduce yourself, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm Joey from Better Media. Question for Mike Perry. On Jake Paul's renowned podcast, BS with Jake Paul, that dropped today, he mentioned that he was drinking 16 days before the fight at Michael Rubin's white party. How do you feel about that, and does that make you feel like he's not taking this fight seriously?
What was he drinking? Red Bull? Who cares? I don't care. I've drank before, smoked before, bust a nut before fights, sometimes right before walking out, and I still go out and get the dub. I'm a crazy motherfucker, and I'm here to fight. Let's fight about it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rock Riley, Tampa Free Press. This is for you, Jake. I know yesterday you were telling us that Mike Tyson contacted you and was like a little bit concerned. That is a huge fight in December. Why take this fight now? And did you have to change your training preparing for Tyson and preparing for Mike Perry?
Yeah, this is what I do. I'm here to fight. I'm not in the gym just to be in the gym. I love to put it on the line. I love to take risks. I love to do big events, and I love this. I love every aspect of this, and he's a dangerous man, and we got to keep the date alive, keep things going. I'm on a path to world championship, and I'm not slowing down for anybody. And, yeah, Mike Tyson called and was like, hey, what are you doing? Mike Perry's a killer. We could jeopardize everything, the biggest fight of your career, the biggest payday of your career. And that's what makes this such a crazy fight. That's what puts the pressure on me. That's what raises the stakes. And I love that. I come alive in those moments, and he most certainly is not going to be the one to stop me.
Peter Blake, big fight weekend, the Rolex reporter. Thank you, Jake, for being a man of your word after giving the Rolex like you said you would. This question is for you, and also Mike. What's your biggest concern with Mike? And Mike, what's your biggest concern with Jake in this fight?
Yeah, he's unorthodox. That's about it. So the first 30 seconds to a minute, just finding my timing and range, and then the fight's over. That's really about it.
Really, I switch stances sometimes, but I'm really an orthodox fighter, so I don't know how I'm unorthodox.
So that
punch
means
people
that means
in the face.
That means like your stance is a regular stance, not southpaw.
I think that one went over your head, Jake.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jake, again.
Gary Cantrell, Bubba the Love Sponge Show. My question is for Jake. On the topic of guys not wanting to fight you, we've interviewed Matt Riddle several times, who says that in his opinion, you're ducking him. How do you respond to that?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, thank you.
He's a former WWE superstar, former UFC fighter, the Super King of Bros.
Sounds like somebody wants a payday.
Scotty Shovel, Sports Realm, and PBS. So my question is for you, Jake. What was the decision process behind picking Mike Perry? And how do you not try to overlook this fight with Mike Tyson coming in November?
Yeah, staying focused, staying locked in. But really this came about because he has a crazy fan base. And any time I would post an Instagram picture over the last 18 months, one of the top comments would always be, fight Mike Perry, you're scared of Mike Perry. And so I love to prove people wrong and take the fights that no one thinks I'm going to take, and that's really how this all came about when Tyson decided that we need to fight at a later date.
And then one last thing, I'm a Tampa reporter and everyone here loves you, so what's the decision process to come back here second time?
Yeah, man, there's magic in this place. I love fighting in Florida. I love Tampa. The energy when I knocked out Woodley was amazing. It's one of the best moments and favorite nights of my life, so wanted to come back and get another highlight reel KO.
I appreciate it.
While we wait for the next question, I did want to ask Amanda, about a week ago we spoke about this fight, and you told me that you weren't too familiar with Stevie when you got the word that you'd be fighting her. I'm wondering, how familiar are you with her now? Did you watch footage on her before the fight?
No, still the same.
Oh my gosh, I'm 0 for 3 on that question.
Yeah.
Amazing. Is that a mistake, Stevie?
I don't think there's any footage on me anyways.
Well, you have 14 pro fights.
It was all a plan.
You didn't want people to see it, so you could sneak up on them.
Yes.
And get this opportunity and shock the
Absolutely.
world. It's not a bad approach. All right, here we go.
Christian Schneeweiss, Bare Knuckle News. Jake, would you ever fight Mike Perry in Bare Knuckle?
Let's make a bet. Mike Perry, if I win on Saturday night, you have to get a W face stat. But if you win, I'll run it back with you in bare knuckle.
Y'all been booing me and clapping for him. Fuck y'all. I ain't getting no more tattoos. I haven't got tatted in like 10 years. I put that one up with God, so fuck your little tattoo bet. I ain't taking none of your fucking bets.
Everybody's tough.
I came here to sign my check and beat your ass,
tough
Jake.
Until it's
I'm here
time
for
to
your
bet.
ass, Jake. I'm here to take your ass, Jake.
Everybody's tough until it's time to bet. That just showed your true confidence right there.
Do you want to counter bet him?
Bruh,
Buffering.
suck my dick, bitch. How about that?
Present it.
How you doing? Jay kind of funny.
Present it.
Jay kind of funny.
No balls. Don't tell me to suck your dick, but don't pull it out.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying.
We got another question here from
Muñeño Media Group. I just want to ask Mike Perry, how are you gonna feel when you're laying down on the ground and Jake makes you say,
we're not doing this.
"Shoot, papi,
We're not doing this. We're not
Muñeño"?
doing this. We're not doing this. Don't answer that bullshit. We're not doing that. Every
let
time
this
with this stuff. Why does this happen every time? I don't like it.
Shout out to
we're
the
not,
internet.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Go ahead.
Yeah, Peter Blake, big fight weekend. This question is for you, Jake. How are you always say skills to pay the bills. How those skills improve with learning under Coach Larry Wade?
Yeah, we got an amazing team. Coach Larry Wade, third, Jalen Love. It's a team full of world championship level and experience. And this past year has been a different Jake Paul, showing up into the gym, learning in the gym, and I really haven't been able to display my skills because of the first round knockouts. And likely that'll happen again on Saturday, but I really have so many tools in the shed that I'm ready to pull out and to get warmed up as the rounds go on and just display all the new things we've been working on.
And the coach said that the most dangerous version of Jake Paul is after the fight. So what do you get after these first two fights that you've had where you knocked out your opponent in the first round?
I don't know if I understand. Like the most dangerous version.
The most dangerous version of the problem child is after the fight because you're able to gain more skills. You've gotten better. You're able to look at those fights. What do you get from them? How do you get better after those two fights?
Yeah, no, that experience under the lights is priceless, and we just come back with each camp and elevate each time. And people again haven't seen the fighter that I am. There's no footage that could prepare anyone for what I'm going to do on Saturday.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you. Great questions. Was there one more? That's it? All right. Great questions. Thank you very much to everyone. Again, Ticketmaster.com is where you can get your tickets limited available. There's some for as low as $20 right now. Expect it to be a great crowd. It was a great crowd back in December of 2022. The place was electric. And so we're expecting the same type of scene on Saturday. And if you are not in the area, yeah, my man, I love it. Yeah, look at that little guy over there. He's all fired up. And if you are not in Tampa, of course, you could get the pay-per-view beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern on DAZN.com. It's a DAZN pay-per-view exclusively all over the world. And the prelims begin at 7 p.m. Eastern. Once again, we want to thank our good friends over at Celsius, Live Fit, Essential Energy, and all our sponsors for putting on this event. In a moment, we'll call up the co-founder of MVP, Mr. Nikisa Badarian, to square off all the fighters, so do not go anywhere. This promises to be one final bit of fun. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Appreciate it. Here he is, the co-founder of MVP, Nikita Badarian. He'll be squaring things off. So, kicking off the main card on Saturday night, Uriah Hall versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Let's say hello once again to the former UFC fighter, 18 wins in MMA, 1-0 in pro boxing, Uriah Hall. And his opponent will say hello to Uriah Hall and also say hello to the Mexican boxing legend returning for the first time since 2021, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. (53, 6-1, 34 knockouts), JCC Jr. versus Uriah Hall. This will be a 6-round cruiserweight bout, and it will be kicking off the pay-per-view at 9 p.m. Eastern. Next up, a Florida turf war, a rematch. Actually, these two have fought twice in the amateurs, once in the pro ranks. They'll be fighting again in the pro ranks on Saturday. They fought to a split draw in February of 2024. First, let us say hello to Crescent City's own Tony Aguilar. And we'll say also hello to his opponent of Orlando, Florida, Corey Too Smooth Marksman. Tony Aguilar, 12-0-1 with 4 knockouts. Corey Marksman, 9-0-1 with 7 knockouts. They both thought they won a few months back. They'll get a chance to right the wrong on Saturday night. Eight-round lightweight bout, second fight on the pay-per-view card. A lot of people think this will steal the show and be the fight of the night come Saturday night. Looking forward to it. Now we say hello to the Canadian sensation, 3-time Canadian national champion as an amateur, 16-0, 14 knockouts, top-ranked IBF and WBA lightweight, Lucas Prince Body. Say hello to Lucas Prince Body once again, 30-year-old top contender. Getting an opportunity to shine on a big stage on Saturday night. And he will try to take the O away from the undefeated phenom, just 20 years young, 9 knockouts, 11-0 as a pro. Say hello once again to MVP's own H2O Silv. This is going to be a banger, my friends. H2O Silv, Lucas Body. A massive opportunity for Lucas, the toughest test of H2O's young career so far. 2 undefeated prospects / contenders going toe-to-toe. It's going to be great stuff on Saturday. Third fight on the pay-per-view card. All right, next up, let's say hello to one half of the co-main event on Saturday night. Like she said moments ago, she's been working in silence, in the darkness. She's representing Tampa. She's 14-1. She has 13 knockouts on her record, and this is by far the biggest fight and the biggest opportunity of her career. Say hello once again to Stevie Sledgehammer Morgan. Stevie Morgan looking to shock the boxing world by defeating one of the all-time greats. And now let's say hello once again to the aforementioned all-time great, competing in her 50th pro bout, the most decorated champion to ever hail from Puerto Rico. She represents Puerto Rico and New York, 7-division champion, the unified featherweight champion, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet, the real deal, Amanda Serrano. She is a boxing trailblazer, a pioneer. This fight in the super lightweight division, Serrano versus Morgan. Ten 2-minute rounds on Saturday in the co-main event. Amanda was victorious on that Tampa card back in December of 2021, returning once again in her 50th pro bout. Incredible stuff. And finally, let us say hello to the two men who are headlining this card on Saturday, DAZN pay-per-view. You saw the back and forth. Can't wait to see what it all means and what it all produces on Saturday night. First, let's say hello to the King of Violence, the former UFC fighter, the current BKFC champion, the face of bare knuckle, one of the toughest SOGs on the planet, Mike Perry, everyone. Platinum Mike Perry once again. He's been asking for this fight for almost 2 years. He is hyped, he is ready to go, and he's looking to unseat one Jake Paul. And so let us say hello one last time to the problem child, to the face of MVP, to El Gallo de Dorado, the man who is 4-0 against MMA fighters, looking to go 5-0 on Saturday, the one and only, the disruptor, Jake Paul. Jake Paul, everyone. The co-founder of MVP, of the brand new W brand, and so much more. Here they are, face to face, one more time. Eight-round cruiserweight fight headlining this show on Saturday exclusively on DAZN pay-per-view. Tickets still available right now on Ticketmaster.com, but you can get it worldwide on DAZN pay-per-view beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's bare knuckle versus boxing. It's Platinum versus El Gallo. It's Perry versus Paul. It's Jake Paul versus MMA one more time. All right, let's bring out all the fighters one last time for one group photo op. All 10 fighters competing on this main card. And don't forget, headlining the prelims beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern is Shadeja Green, among many others. Thank you once again to our sponsors, Celsius, Fansly, Event Ticket Center, and of course, the good people of Dave & Buster's. Make some noise, show some love to these 10 great fighters who are competing Saturday night, live and exclusively on DAZN pay-per-view. Get it right now on DAZN.com. Thank you, everyone.
Now that was a press conference, and it was brought to you by Celsius, Live Fit, Essential Energy, DraftKings. The crown is yours. Fansly, the best 18 and over content creator site. Head over to fansly.com/Paul Perry to see exclusive content from the event and more of our beautiful ring card models. Event Ticket Center. Don't just watch it, experience it live. Get tickets to the events you love with Event Ticket Center. Dave & Buster's, the place to be with your whole crew. Happy hour, giant TVs, delicious food, and handcrafted cocktails. You really can't top it. Don't miss the biggest fight night of the summer, airing at Dave & Buster's nationwide.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been covering fight sports for about 17 years. That may have been the most entertaining press conference I've ever seen. You were sitting next to me. I was howling with laughter.
Dying over there.
I was crying with laughter. What did you think of that?
No, man, it was hilarious. Every time Jake had something to say, something slick, Perry always had a comeback, and it was hilarious, man. You know, Perry got some good trash talk with him.
You know why that is? It's because Mike Perry is 100% authentic himself. You can't make that up.
Yeah.
That's him. Just no setup, no script. You say something, he responds. That's right off the top of his dome.
I mean, even the report card line about him having all T's.
Yeah,
D's for you.
There's too much of that, and again, you see there's genuine beef starting to build here. It was friendly when I did the face-to-face, and they were kind of having the back-and-forth jokes. That was not friendly. And we're one day away. We'll see how this weigh-in goes, but that's what you want to see. That heat is rising.
You know, there was a lot of joking and great lines back and forth. When it came to Amanda Serrano and Morgan, all business. There was no smiling, no laughing. What did you take away from
That's
that?
going to be a brawl, man, because Stevie really doesn't respect Amanda.
You can tell.
She doesn't respect her. And you can see, like, Amanda got that look in her eye where, like, she can't wait to put her hands on her. So that fight right there is going to be a war. That fight might steal the show. They're going to bang.
Yeah, it's interesting. Stevie's bringing a different energy than a lot of the women that fight Amanda usually do. There's a lot of respect there. There's a lot of, hey, you know, I appreciate this moment. Stevie's like, listen, I said what I said, and I'm going to go in there and try to prove it. And I was watching the face-off. Like you said, Amanda looking a little different this time around. There was a different intensity there.
And one thing, Stevie's big.
Dang.
She's a big girl, man. So that's one thing. She's going to present that size. She has that power, but she's going to present that size that Amanda's not used to. So it's going to be a tough fight for Amanda.
And no flinching there at all.
Yeah.
They met face-to-face. Stevie's like, I'm not moving. They were the Keisa had to turn both of them because they were like, no, we're just going to sit here until someone flinches. No one did.
Yeah, Stevie 14-1 with 13 knockouts, and Amanda said point blank, I haven't seen her fight. I haven't watched anything. How did you feel about watching fights of your opponents ahead of time?
Yeah, I would study fights, man, because, you know, it's important. You just want to study habits. But, you know, it does get a little exhausting to study tape. So most of the time the team studies the tapes and you go to the gym and you know, they present the game plan that you have to apply day to fight. So I get it why fighters don't like to see films. Sometimes I didn't like to see films either, but you have to.
Yeah, listen, I think that obviously the film study is important, but also mid-fight adjustments are going to be massive for all the fights on this card. One of the fights I'm looking forward to, obviously, people are looking at H2O Silv. I'm looking at this Lucas Body fight, maybe more dangerous than previously anticipated. Guy's 30 years old. He's 16-0, 14 KOs. Good right hand, like you talked about, Gabe.
Good overhand right. And that's one thing I think that he might present. There's going to be a problem for H2O is that overhand right. But I love H2O's. I like his demeanor, man. He's nice and cool. He's young, but he's very mature.
You know, another great line, speaking of watching tape, was when Uriah Hall said, man, I haven't watched Anderson Silva's fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He said, I haven't watched it either, man. It was one of the worst nights of his life. Chavez losing to Anderson Silva. He's vowing not to let that happen again as he faces another UFC fighter in Uriah Hall. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for what was an outstanding, entertaining press conference as we look at our main fight card one more time. Which fight do you think, Gabe, of these five is going to steal the show?
I think Amanda Stevie, but Jake Paul and Mike, that's big. That's big. It's between Amanda and Jake Paul.
Listen, obviously all the eyes are on Amanda, on Jake, on H2O Silv. That Tony Aguilar fight with Corey Marksman is a big fight here in Florida. I've seen them go at it face-to-face before. I called their last fight. Keep your eye on that one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you right back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time at the Emily Arena for the Jake Paul, Mike Perry weigh-in. Fear No Man live on DAZN pay-per-view. Limited tickets still available. They feel like this is going to be a completely packed house on Saturday, and what an environment it is going to be. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, for Gabe Rosado and Wade Plim, I'm Todd Grisham. We'll see you at the weigh-in.
Live only on DAZN, July 20. Jake Paul versus Mike Perry.
Fear no man. I'm ready anytime, any place, anyone. People think I'm crazy.
Mike Perry ends people.
A violent, bare knuckle, undefeated legend.
He is a savage. He is an absolute killer.
I'm gonna hurt you bad. I'm bringing the pain. You will be terrified.
Jake Paul versus Mike Perry, July 20. Live only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.